Hey, I'm World Entertainment, and now that the Russo brothers and Robert Downey Jr. are coming back for Secret Wars and Doomsday, what exactly was the key to getting them back? Well, it turns out it's not just money, it's copious amounts of money. Oh yes, because the payday these guys are going to get is staggering, and to hear what they're getting, the way it's working, and what they're getting paid up front first before anything is even put on paper for a script is ridiculous. Now, we knew Robert Downey Jr. wasn't gonna come back for free, but holy shit, what they're giving him is insane. Not to mention, it does turn out that he is basically one and done. And I don't mean he's gonna only do one movie. We know he's doing Doomsday and Secret Wars, but clearly those two movies are going to get filmed back to back. And from what it's sounding like and what we're hearing is that he's literally coming in for them two movies. As I said, it'll probably be shot in one and he's done. He's gone. That's it. He's leaving it all behind. But let's have a look at this because this is insane. Oh, and by the way, apparently there's already fan backlash to him coming back, which is interesting. I'm not going to look over those articles, but you can see the headline there. It says, and this is on Forbes, saying Robert Downey Jr.'s casting as Doctor Doom sparks backlash from fans. So, as for the paydays and the perks and stuff, well, after a bruising year, Marvel is returning to the very things that worked in the past. That means reuniting with franchise crown jewel Robert Downey Jr., as well as the Russo brothers, who directed the two most successful movies for the studio with Infinity War and Endgame. But bringing back key members of the old guard won't come cheap. Sources say Marvel is plonking down $80 million for Anthony and Joe Russo to direct Doomsday and Secret Wars, and significantly more for Downey Jr. to tackle uber villain Doctor Doom in the two tentpoles. The Russos deal doesn't include back-end compensation, but it does contain performance escalators that kick in at the $750 million and $1 billion thresholds. The brothers also will produce the two films via their AGBO banner. That marks something of a departure for Marvel, which typically doesn't work with outside producers, preferring to keep the team in-house. Now, the first part we'll go over with this is this back-end compensation. What does that mean? For anyone that doesn't know, that is the deals that go in place that Downey Jr. did with the first Avengers movie, which is, you contracted to get paid this much to actually perform in the movie. Your back end deals, or the compensation, is we'll take a cut from whatever the movie makes and all the merchandise and everything like that. That's what that is. Where they're saying the performance escalators kick in, that means they will get pretty much a bonus on top of the $80 million they're going to get paid, providing the movie makes $170 million. That's where it'll kick in, and I'm assuming it says and the billion threshold, that's probably where they'll get even extra. So that is what that means. As for them coming in with their own production company, yeah, Marvel may be doing this to possibly try and get their company to pay some of the bills for this movie, the production. Don't know. It is a strange one though. Now, you also heard there that Robert Downey Jr. is getting significantly more than the Russos' $80 million. How much is he getting? Well, they don't specify that. So we're looking, obviously, if it's significantly more, we're looking at between 100 million and more, which is insane. But wait till you hear his perks. So for Downey, who helped catapult Marvel into a money printing machine thanks to his turn as Tony Stark in the first Iron Man film in 2008, His deal also is filled with perks that include private jet travel, dedicated security, and a whole trailer encampment for the newly minted Oscar winner. That is insane. Where are they getting the money for this? So let's put it this way, okay? This movie hasn't got a single word written down yet for a script. Not an iota of anything on paper for this movie. And just for Downey Jr. and the Russo brothers to come back, we're already looking at a budget over 200 million. That's insane. Then when you're adding on private jets and dedicated security and stuff, like, how much is a private jet? It's like, it must be up in the 10 million range, if not more, for a trip here and there and everywhere. What the hell is the trailer encampment? And how much does that cost? That would be insane. And as for private security, this dedicated private security, how much does that cost? So we're looking at a movie that hasn't even begun working on the script yet, and they've already spent well over 200 million. This is insane. What are they thinking? And what happens if the movie comes out and it flops? What do they do then? It's the case of, well, we spent this much money on bringing these 3 people back and it didn't work for us. Like, we still have all the crap to get through before we even get to Doomsday. You know, the Thunderbolts and Captain African American Man and all that stuff. Apparently people are going nuts when you call him that, so we're going to call him that because it makes the right people angry, I suppose. But what are they doing to pay over 18 million for the 2 directors, hoping that they can recapture the magic that they had with the other movies, and obviously well over 100 million for an actor to come in to play a villain who, let's be honest here, because he's the villain, he's not going to be on the screen all that much. It would be weird if he is. Mind you, if I'm paying someone over 100 million, your ass is going to be in every single frame of footage. I don't care if it's your day off, you can come in and go sleep in a chair in the corner, but your ass is being on camera. If I'm giving you over $100 million and giving you private jets and all that, like, wow, that is insane. And again, for a franchise that's dying, like it's dying a death, and people will turn around and go, how's it dying a death? Look what Deadpool and Wolverine just did. Yeah, but this isn't Deadpool and Wolverine, is it? He's not coming back to play Tony Stark Iron Man the way Hugh Jackman came back to play Wolverine and Ryan Reynolds came back to play Deadpool. No, he's playing Doctor Doom. So it's not the same thing. And of course, this will all have to get set up through all these other movies with all the multiverse bullshit in it. This is insane to see that these 2 movies that are way down the line, that we have to get past all this other garbage that is going to fail. And yes, it is going to fail, absolutely. To get to this point, when you're spending... Oh, by the way, here's the other news I forgot to mention. It's been filmed in England. The 2 movies, Doomsday and Secret Wars, are getting filmed in the UK. You know what that means, people? That means we get to see those tax returns, which means we get to see what the budget actually is for these movies. So they can come out and say, we managed to do it for $200 million for the 2 of them. And then we get to see the actual numbers come out in those tax returns, and it'll be something like 500 and something million, if not $1 billion, because they spent over $1 billion to make both Infinity War and Endgame. So if they're going to spend like $1 billion to make these 2 movies, and they've already spent over 200 million just for the directors and one actor, yeah, good luck with this. My good God, are they going to need a miracle to pull this thing off? But time is going to tell, and as I said, there seems to be already a bit of pushback about him coming back. And it's also funny that we had that Joe Rogan interview where he said, Joe Rogan was like, here's how I see it working out. They'll have a few failures and they'll start getting desperate. And then they rolled in Robert Downey Jr., you know, could that work? And Downey Jr. was like, would you really want to see that? Like that? And here we are, we're at that point. The franchise is in the gutter, and all of a sudden it's like, uh-oh, quick, do something. Here's Robert Downey Jr. back. It's what a mess. What an absolute act of desperation, especially when you haven't had a single success under your name. Again, we don't include Spider-Man because that's Sony. And no, as much as you want to try and claim, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse Madness did not earn money. It did not break even because we saw how much that movie actually cost. They are going to need a miracle. So, with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So cheers, and I will catch you in the next one.